Hey guys, today's video is another get ready with me style tutorial on this kind of fall glam look. So yeah, let's get started. So again, I'm going to start with the skin. So I'm going to prime my skin with the L'Oreal Lumi Magique Pure Light Primer. So I'm just patting this on my face and then rubbing it in with my fingers. And like my last get ready with me video, this will include lots of singing and dancing since that's what I actually do when I'm getting ready. So now on to foundation, and I'm taking the Ultra HD liquid foundation from Makeup Forever, and I am in the shade R250, and I'm just mixing that with some pure argan oil on the back of my hand just to add a bit of luminosity to my skin. And I'm just blending that into my face using a damp beauty blender. Please excuse the state of my bedroom. I didn't realise that you could actually see how messy it was from the camera, but yeah, my room is always a mess like that, so please excuse me. Because I added the argan oil to my foundation, it's not got the full coverage that I wanted, so I'm just adding some more foundation onto the back of my hand and then just patting that over my face where I need the extra coverage. So I'm not adding any more argan oil to this, I'm just dabbing this on my cheeks in particular, which is where my foundation tends to kind of rub off during the day. And then I'm going in with the custom enhancer drops from Cover Effects. So this is in the shade Moonlight, so that is one of their highlight shades, and I'm just patting this on the highest points of my cheeks, and I'm going to also place some down the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow. So I want to kind of use this as like a highlight base, so I'm going to be adding a powder highlight later, but yeah, so I'm just applying this the way it is just now and then blending it in with my beauty blender. As I said in my September favourites, I think it was, when I was talking about the bronzer shade of this, Sunkissed, which I adore, I'm not really a huge fan of these highlighter drops. I've not really found a way that works well for me to use them. So that's why I wanted to use them in this video today, just to kind of see if I can make them work, and I really liked how it turned out. Now it's on to concealer, so I'm taking the Nars Radiant Cream Concealer, and this is in the shade Vanilla, since I didn't want too bright of a highlight. So I'm just placing this underneath my eyes. I don't really go in like a huge triangle shape or anything like that. I just kind of focus right underneath my eyes, and then I'm going to blend that in with my beauty blender, after having a little dance, of course. I know it seems a little weird that I'm applying my concealer after applying the custom enhancer drops, but I found that once I set my concealer with the RCMA no colour powder, which I'll do in a second, it makes the highlight not really stick as well on top, and I don't know whether that's a problem that everyone's found, but I've found that when I've been using it, so that's why I'm deciding to use that liquid highlighter before concealer. So this is me applying the RCMA no colour powder with one of the new medical complexion sponges from New Techniques, so it's a little eraser one, I think. So now it's on to eyes, and I'm priming my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Eden, as always. And I'm going to set that eyeshadow primer with Vanilla Bean from Makeup Geek, so I'm just packing that all over the lid and all the way up to the brow bone. The rest of the shadows from this look are from the Morphe 35O palette, so this palette is absolutely gorgeous. I included it in my August favourites, but I've never actually used it in a tutorial on my channel. So this is me struggling to decide where to start, but I finally decided to use this kind of pale orangey toned shade as my initial crease colour, so I'm just buffing this into my crease just now. I'm not really sure what brush I used for this. Normally I can tell you what brushes I use for everything, but if I can't think of any, I will leave them listed in the description box below with links and everything so you can find them for yourself. So I wanted this eye look to be quite smoky, so I'm taking this orangey tone shade quite high up, and I'm also building it up quite a bit as well. I'm just kind of re-intensifying this look, and then I'm taking a clean fluffy brush. I think this is the Sigma E E40 or E35, I'm not entirely sure. So that's got no product on it at all, and I'm just buffing that out and then going back in and packing this orange shade in like the crease again. So I just keep doing this until it builds up the intensity to what I like, and I'm also doing the exact same on the other eye. After my little dance break, I go back in with that orange tone shade and just keep intensifying the crease. I want it to be very warm and smoky because I'm going to be applying kind of darker brown shades later, so I want this to be really quite bright orange to make it very warm and fall appropriate. The next shade I'm going in with is a kind of warm brown shade, so it looks quite light in the pan but it's actually quite dark. So I'm just taking this on, I think this is an eye blender brush from Zoeva. I'll leave everything linked below as I said, but I'm just focusing this on the very outer corner of my eye and blending in with the same brush I used to apply the crease shades. So I'm just keep building this up. I wanted the outer corner to be very dark and smoky, but you can still see obviously that orange shade through the crease, so that is what I'm doing just now. And again, I'm doing the exact same on the other eye. Now going back into the 35O palette, I chose this kind of bronze glittery shade as my as my lid shade. So I'm taking this on a flat shader brush. I'm not sure exactly the name, but I'll leave everything linked below as I've said about a million times in this video. So I'm just packing this on the lid and I'm taking it all the way to the very inner corner as well. So I'm just making sure I get right in there. So I'm just kind of dragging it back from the inner corner, but kind of not cutting the crease, but I'm just making sure there's no kind of shimmery shade in the crease because that makes the crease colours not as defined and smoky. And then I'm just going back in with that kind of warm brown shade and just intensifying the crease a little bit and blending the crease colour and the lid shade together. And again, buffing out the edges using the brush I used to apply the crease colour. Now we get in with a deeper brown shade. I'm taking that on a smaller kind of, I think this is a petite eye blender brush from Zoeva, and I'm just using this to really deepen up the very outer corner of the eye. So I'm taking it into the crease slightly, but I'm really focusing it on the outer corner of the lid just to intensify that a little bit. I'm blending that out with the brush I used to apply the warm brown shade before. Doing the exact same on the other eye, and I just keep building this up until it gets to as intense as I want it to be. Now I'm taking the Makeup Geek eyeliner pencil in the shade Obsidian, so this is a black, and I'm just lining the top of my lashes. Well, yeah, I'm just lining the top of my lash line. So basically I'm just doing a kind of line straight across. I'm not really being too overly neat about it or anything. It's just kind of as a base for when I apply my false lashes later. So I'm not winging it out, I'm just kind of drawing a straight line just across my lid. Even though this is like a really simple liner, and this liner is so creamy and just easy to use, I suck at liner. I am the worst for lining my eyes, so it did take me a good while to get this right, but yeah. And of course I celebrated when I finally finished my liner, but now it's on to brows. So I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow in the shade Dark Brown. So I'm just applying this with, I'm thinking it's a number 7 brush from Anastasia. It's the angled one with the spoolie on the other end. So I'm just starting by lining the underside of my brows. So I'm just drawing a straight line basically all the way to the tail. So that is how I like to start using my dip brow, and then I just start filling in on top of that. And when I'm using my dip brow, I always start kind of near the middle of the brow and then work towards the end. I don't really use too much product at the inner portion of my brow because it ends up looking far too fake and just drawn on too much, even though it's hardly a natural brow. But yeah, I wanted to go full glam with this look today, so that is why I'm using my dip brow. So I'm just going to fill in on top lightly, and then when I come to the front portion of my brow, I can brush upwards with the brush, but I don't tend to use that much more like product. And as you can see, we're joined by a little guest in this portion of the video. Mom came into the room looking for something, so there you can see her just leaving there just now. But anyway, so once I filled in my brows with the dip brow, I like to sculpt them out using a little bit of concealer. So I'm going back in with my Nars concealer and just taking this on a brow line brush from Zoeva, which I love to sculpt out my brows. So I'm just taking this all the way on the underside of the brow. I'm kind of placing the brush and then dragging the concealer down. And then I'm also going on top as well, so I'm just drawing the line, and then I'm going to turn the brush on its side in a second. So you can see that I like to go all the way up. There you can see it now. I'm taking the brush on its side and kind of dragging the concealer out, because I hate having to try and blend my foundation. Like, well, my foundation's already on, but like I hate having to try and blend it once like with my eyebrows. So just doing it like this is so much better. So yeah, I love to sculpt out my brows like this. And then once I've done that, I'm just brushing my brows through with the spoolie on the end of the brush. And then I'm setting them in place with my trusty Anastasia clear brow gel. Now for lips, I decided to go with a kind of nude, more brownie toned shade. So I'm just lining my lips with Whirl lip liner from MAC. And then I'm just going to use the matching lipstick. So this lipstick is a matte formula, I think, from MAC. So I don't really use this that often, but for fall time I think it's really appropriate. It's kind of the brown kind of nude lips are totally in right now. But yeah, so I really like that. And I decided to top it off with some gloss. So I'm in with the Jouer lip topper in the shade Skinny Dip. So this is a kind of gold toned shade, but on top of this brownie toned nude, it just kind of gives a nice sheen to the lips, and I love this combination. Now for lashes, I decided to try the House of Lashes Iconic Lashes for the very first time. So I had a bit of trouble actually applying these. I had to take them on and off like a good few times, but I've worn them since filming this video, and they're so much easier to apply like the second and third time. The first time they were just a little bit new and kind of stiff, but I really loved how they looked once I'd finally got them on. Now I'm just dusting off my bake, and I'm just going to go in and finish the rest of my skin. So for bronzer, I'm using my new favourite product, which is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Sunkissed. So I've just shaken this up and dropped a few droplets on the back of my hand, and I'm just patting this on my cheeks and on my temples. As I showed in my September favourites, the brush I like to use to apply this is the Real Techniques sculpting brush. So I'm just stippling this into my skin, and I feel like this brush really blends into the foundation so well. Like, it doesn't lift any of the product underneath. It just makes it look so bronzed and glowy. I think I actually used a little bit too much when I was filming this video. Normally I like to use a little bit less, but I really was going to town on the whole bronze look for this. So yeah, I'm just blending it into my temples as well, making sure I blend it back into my hairline. I just love that with this product you get so much time to blend it in. Like, there's so much playtime, it's actually unreal. Like, it doesn't dry too quickly at all. You've got enough time to make sure it's blended perfectly into your skin, and it's just so, it makes it so easy and just effortless to have that kind of bronzed look. To sharpen up that bronzer a little bit, I'm going back in with some more RCMA No Colour powder and packing this on with the same Miracle eraser sponge, I think it's called. I'm not entirely sure, it's one of the new Real Techniques ones. So I'm just packing this on the kind of all the way, the bottom of my cheeks, kind of up to my jawline. I find that this is where my makeup kind of rubs off the fastest throughout the day, because I'm always like putting my hands on my face and all that kind of thing. So doing this really helped prolong my foundation there. Now for highlight, I wanted to try out the new Sleek highlighting palette. So this is in the shade Cleopatra's Kiss, and of course I dropped the brush all over the floor as usual, but I'm going in with this kind of goldy shade on my usual Real Techniques setting brush and just kind of buffing this into the high points of my cheeks. I'm also applying this to the tip and bridge of my nose, and then taking it on a smaller fluffy brush, I'm just applying it to my brow bone. I love using the same highlighter shade as my brow bone highlight, as well as my cheekbones and things like that, because I find that it really ties the whole look together and just makes it look a bit more complete. Now I'm going back into the Morphe 35O palette to do my lower lash line. So I'm taking that warm medium toned brown, so I'm just using this on a pencil brush from Zoeva to smudge under the lower lash line. And you can really see the difference that it makes, like putting some shadows underneath your lower lash line. It's so crazy. I just love to do it because it makes the whole eye look complete. Next, going in with the deep brown that I used to intensify the outer corner on a smaller pencil brush, also from Zoeva. I'm just dragging this as close to the lower lash line as possible, just to intensify that a little bit. And I'm just blending that together with a larger pencil brush. And I'm taking that same highlighter shade from the Sleek Cleopatra's Kiss palette on a detail brush. So I'm just using that to highlight the inner corner, and then it's time for mascara on my lower lashes. Now it's time to dust off my bake, so you can really see that this cleans up the bronzer a little bit. And then for some reason I get distracted by something and I have absolutely no idea what it is. But anyway, so I just keep dusting that off. And now it's time for contour, so I'm going with the Makeup Geek contour powder in the shade Break Up on a Sigma F05 brush, and I mentioned this in my September favourites. It is my new favourite contouring brush. I just don't know what I did without it in my life. It is amazing. It just makes contouring so easily, like it blends the powder so quickly, and these powders are really creamy and blendable anyway, but with this brush it just makes it so effortless and you really can't mess it up. And the final step is just setting my whole face with some MAC Fix Plus, and that is the finished look. Now all that's left is some posing to show off this look. And yeah, so this bit is always the most awkward bit for me to film, like I feel so uncomfortable doing this, but yeah, so this is me trying to zoom in and look at that attractive face. That is just brilliant. Anyway, so here we'll get to the serious posing, so you can see how this look turned out. I am really happy with it. This is the first tutorial using the Morphe 35O palette on my channel, so I'm really happy with how it looked, and I am obsessed with this highlight. Like, it's just so amazing. The sleek highlights are so affordable and just so incredible as well. So yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this look. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe to be notified of all future videos, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys!